In an industry long dominated by American rappers and hip-hop heavyweights, a surprising shift is underway. Jin, the eldest member of BTS, has emerged as a solo powerhouse capable of challenging, and in some cases surpassing, the dominance of US rap stars on the Billboard charts. His recent victories, both in streaming numbers and international recognition, are not only milestones for his solo career, but also a symbol of how K-pop is reshaping the global music hierarchy. The phenomenon first gained momentum with the release of Jin's solo EP Happy in November 2024, followed by Echo in May 2025. Songs like I'll Be There and Running Wild did not rely on heavy collaborations with Western producers or big-name rappers, yet they climbed Billboard's global charts with astonishing speed. By September 2025, Jin had already secured multiple entries on the global top 50, outperforming tracks from some of the biggest names in American rap, including Drake, Travis Scott, and Post Malone. What makes this achievement so striking is the contrast in style. While American rap is often powered by aggressive beats, cultural dominance, and decades of market control, Jin's music thrives on emotional vulnerability, soaring ballads, and lyrical sincerity. Critics have noted that his songs carry a universality that transcends language barriers. You don't need to understand Korean to feel Jin's voice, one Billboard analyst commented. It's a raw emotional connection, and that's what is pushing him ahead of genres that once monopolized the charts. Fans, of course, play a decisive role. ARMY's relentless streaming power has become a force that even US rappers cannot compete with. During August alone, Jin's fanbase mobilized millions of streams daily, enough to push him past rap singles backed by major American labels. The result shocked many in the industry who had assumed that rap's dominance in the US market was unshakable. Yet here was a Korean balladeer, rewriting the rules of global music competition. The cultural implications are profound. For years, Billboard was seen as a stronghold of American genres, pop, rap, and R&B leading the way. Jin's success signals a new era where Korean soloists can not only coexist, but actually outpace these genres. It challenges the notion that Western artists set the standard while others follow. Instead, Jin stands as proof that Asia can lead, innovate, and dominate in spaces previously thought impossible. This victory also resonates beyond numbers. By surpassing high-profile rap tracks, Jin has positioned himself as a symbol of balance in global music, a reminder that power does not always come from volume, but from depth. His songs, rooted in emotion rather than bravado, demonstrate that the world craves authenticity. In a music landscape often criticized for repetitiveness and formulaic beats, Jin's artistry offers something refreshingly timeless. As the story unfolds, one question grows louder. Is this a fleeting moment, or the start of a permanent shift? With BTS's full group comeback looming in 2026, Jin's solo dominance may only be the beginning of a larger cultural movement. For now, though, the image is clear. A single Korean voice has risen above the noise of American rap, not through force, but through resonance. And that, perhaps, is the true revolution. Jin doesn't just compete with American rappers. He redefines what it means to win. The conversation around Jin's Billboard triumph has quickly escalated into something far greater than a chart battle. Industry insiders are beginning to call it a cultural tipping point, one that signals the decline of Western monopoly in music influence and the rise of Asia as an undeniable leader. For decades, American rap ruled not just charts but youth culture itself, shaping fashion, language, and even politics. Yet Jin's quiet but powerful ballads are now commanding the same cultural weight, reaching across borders and redefining what global music power looks like in the streaming era. Music critics in Los Angeles and New York have expressed both admiration and surprise. Some view Jin's rise as the natural evolution of a globalized music market where language is no longer a barrier. Others admit discomfort, noting that American rap, once seen as untouchable, is losing ground to a Korean singer whose greatest weapons are sincerity, melody, and a loyal fan base. This isn't just about Jin, one critic wrote. This is about how the world is voting with its ears, and the results are shaking the industry. The ripple effects are already visible. Western artists are beginning to acknowledge the unstoppable rise of K-pop soloists, with labels exploring crossovers and collaborations in hopes of tapping into the momentum. Yet many fans argue that Jin doesn't need Western validation. His achievements stand tall on their own. The fact that his solo tracks can surpass rap singles backed by the largest US marketing machines speaks volumes about where true influence now lies. For ARMY, this moment is deeply personal. It is proof that years of dedication, streaming campaigns, and unwavering loyalty have borne fruit. Every stream, every vote, every late-night push on global platforms has contributed to this outcome, turning Jin not just into a winner, but into a cultural landmark. They celebrate him not only as BTS's eldest member, but as a global artist who represents their collective strength. And perhaps that is the most extraordinary part of the story. Jin is not a rapper, nor does he pretend to be. He does not chase trends set by the West, yet he surpasses them. His artistry is rooted in honesty, in crafting songs that heal, comfort, and inspire. In a world oversaturated with bravado and competition, Jin reminds us that music at its core is about connection, and connection is stronger than dominance. As the Billboard charts continue to reflect this seismic change, the question shifts from if Jin can hold his ground to how far he will go. With upcoming projects and the much-anticipated BTS reunion in 2026, the momentum is only building. American rap will not vanish, but it can no longer claim unrivaled supremacy. That mantle now belongs to artists like Jin, who prove that the global stage is no longer defined by geography, but by heart. Jin's triumph over America's rap giants is more than a win for K-pop. It is the rewriting of music history. And as long as his voice continues to echo across borders, it is clear. The world is not just listening, it is following. The image of Jin quietly breaking boundaries while others shouted the loudest has become the defining metaphor of this new era. For years, American rap was synonymous with global dominance, an art form that thrived on power, competition, and cultural swagger. But now, a Korean singer with a gentle voice and a message of hope has proven that the strongest impact does not always come from the loudest sound. Sometimes, it comes from the most sincere. As fans replay his songs on streaming platforms, Jin's voice is no longer just music. It is an anthem of transformation. Each melody becomes a declaration that the world has changed, that Asia is no longer following but leading. Each chart placement becomes proof that sincerity can topple bravado, and that connection can triumph over tradition. Industry veterans now admit what fans have known all along. Jin's success is not a coincidence, nor is it a fleeting trend. It is the product of relentless passion, resilience through military service, and the loyalty of millions who see themselves in his story. His achievements are the kind that make other artists recalibrate their goals, not just in Korea or Asia, but in Hollywood and New York as well. The question that lingers is not whether Jin can compete with America's rappers, it is whether they can compete with him. With each passing day, his influence grows, stretching beyond music into fashion, brand power, and cultural diplomacy. He is no longer just the eldest member of BTS. He is a symbol of a new global order in entertainment. As Billboard charts reset week after week, one truth remains constant. Jin's voice continues to echo louder than the noise around him. And in that echo lies a revolution, one that is rewriting not just K-pop history, but the history of global music itself. The world may still debate numbers, awards, or influence. But in the end, Jin's legacy will not be measured by how many rappers he surpassed on Billboard. It will be measured by how he changed the way we listen, how he shifted the center of gravity in the music industry, and how he proved that one man's sincerity can shake the world. And that is the real story. Jin didn't just defeat American rap. He reminded the world what true power sounds like.